there's a lot of people suffering, a lot of mental health concerns, a lot of mental fitness concerns. And one thing I want to share is that there's a lot of us who using defense mechanisms as a way to heal or to soothe ourselves. So, for example, if we're not good at forming relationships or at least maintaining relationships, we may lash out through anger. We may lash out through such intense emotions that it turns people away from us because we have a fear of maybe of a fear of them maybe leaving us if they find out how we truly are, how our unhealthy version of ourselves comes to the surface. I recently went through this with a friend who treated friendships like they were acquaintances online, right? Like you have someone that when you're dealing with people online, if there's something you don't like or something that you don't necessarily want to see, you can either block that person or just log off. Some people treat their friendships that way. If you say something that maybe they don't necessarily agree with, or if you don't allow them to treat you a certain way, they just disconnect the friendship. They block you, they log off. And they're very quick to do this. And it's disappointing because so many of us operate out of fear. And one of the greatest sources of fear is insecurity. And so many of us have something that we're insecure about. So many of us have something that we hide because approaching it, acknowledging it, is a source of fear. We're afraid of people finding out who we are. We're afraid of being reminded of what we are. And we don't know how to handle these things because the people that we keep around us have been filtered in such a way that they don't ever question it. They don't ever ask. Those who would question it, those who were ask it, those who say, I think you need to keep an eye out on this. You're acting kind of aggressive, kind of emotional, kind of high strung. They get rid of them. So now they've surrounded themselves with people that will do what they say, when they want, how they want, and where they want. And if anyone questions this, they get rid of you. You can be friends with this person for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And just like that, you're gone. Because if you don't do what they say, when they want it, how they want it, and where they want it, you don't have any use. People who are unhealed, many times they'll go out and search unconsciously for those that are abusing them or those that have abused them. They will now go out of their way proactively to find what has left them damaged, because now what they're doing is they're hiding in the trauma. Their trauma has become their prison to some people, but to themselves, their trauma has insulated them. It's a form of protection. I don't want to be around healthy people because if they find out how unhealthy I am, they may look at me a different way. My insecurities are now wide open. They're above the surface. And that is scary for a lot of people. And a lot of people don't want to handle that because it's easier to operate in the darkness than it is to operate in the light.